Hi, my name is Tiago Duarte and welcome to another video tutorial here at DailyBeats. In today's video I'm going to continue the EDM from start to finish series, and I'm back in my studio in Portugal and I'm going to continue the series that I couldn't do in the last 2 weeks because I was out of the studio, and today I will continue the EDM from start to finish series, and I'm going to focus on mixing. And in this video I will start mixing the first part of the track, and then in the premium I might go for the second part. Let's see how it goes. And before we start, I would like to ask you to subscribe and activate the notification so that you know when I upload new videos. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Also, if you like the content that I do here, consider supporting this channel by buying one of my products at DailyBeatsVI or become a premium or exclusive member, and you will have access to exclusive tutorials about music production and also to the project files of the tutorials that I do here, so that you can follow along with the project and the video in your own computer or studio. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start the tutorial. Okay, so this is what we have so far in the project. It starts to have a lot of tracks, 41 tracks, so it's quite a lot. And so what I'm going to do is to, let me close this, and I'm going to focus on this part here, which has most of the main loop, let's say, and let's focus here so we don't have any transitions in this part. And I'm going to try to improve this part a little bit, and this is what we have. So if you remember, this was the main loop. The original idea was pretty much this. And here, let's see what we have in terms of, let me close the browser, we don't need it anymore. So here in the master, I only have so far a limiter that is limiting a little bit, 2.5 dBs. And let's work on the kick, or let's see, we have the kick here, then we have some percussion, some hi-hats, and we also have here the snare. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to basically create a new group for the hi-hats. Okay, so let's bring one of these tracks, this empty track, to this side, and let's call this hi-hat G, which means group. And I'm going to send all of these into this group here, and then I will send this group to the mix. Okay, and why I do this is because I want to apply a low cut or a high pass filter, so that I can remove most of the low frequencies of the hi-hats, because I don't want any hi-hat low frequency messing around with my bass and my kick. So we make it a little bit thinner, but they are hi-hats, so I don't care too much about the low frequency of the hi-hats, so this helps remove a little bit of the low frequencies. We can even have a look at how the spectrum looks like. So let me take out the Fidelity EQ, and you can see that we still have some information around this part here, around 600 and even 200 and something. And we can even see some very gentle information here. But when we apply this hi-hat, the low pass filter with Fidelity EQ, this makes it a little bit more cleaner. And of course we can also add a little bit of the, try to find here a place, maybe we can even, instead of doing this, let's go with a low pass but in shelf mode, and we can even increase a little bit of this part here, which is from 6,000 Hertz above. So let's take this out. Okay, and then we have here the snare, and what I'm going to do is to keep this bass here, or the main synth, and let's try to work here on the hi-hat. Let me see or the snare. I already have some EQ in the hi-hats. So what I have is a top shelf at 8.9, and I have 13 dBs, which is quite a lot. And then I have a high pass in a shelf mode also on 1.1 with -14. So what I'm doing is taking a little bit of the low frequencies and boosting the high frequencies. So let me see what I can do here. Let me see if I can find a nice frequency that I like. I like this one here, and what I can do is increase a little bit of the Q. Okay, make it a little bit more present in that range of frequency. Okay. Okay, so in terms of we still have also here the snap. For the snap, I'm going to apply the same principle of the snare, which is to lower a little bit of the low frequencies, like so, and maybe on shelf, and remove a little bit, so that we have a little bit more space in the low frequencies for the bass in the synth bass or bass synth. Okay, so let's go and let's listen just to the bass. Actually, let me keep this one enabled like this, but locked, so that every time we have this, this will stay locked. So, by the way, let me put the snap close to the snare, and one thing that I can do here is to add a little bit of reverb also. Okay, maybe just a touch like that. Apply a low cut. Let me add a little bit more. Yes, I think that's okay. Okay, so now let's go to the bass. So what I'm doing here in the bass is very, how can I say? I'm leaving this part here for the bass synth, and I'm keeping this main bass part, which is below 60 Hz. I can even go a little bit further. Let me put this with a stronger Q. Yeah, that's not doing too much, so let me reset this. And one thing that I can do, let me see, maybe I can like this. And let's see the bass. Let me check against the bass synth, which I think I got here, this bass here. So we can compare this side by side. And what I'm doing here is basically removing a lot of this frequency in this region, which is the region that I left for the bass synth. So let's go here. Okay, so this is the bottom is the bass synth, we can see it here, and the top here is the bass, which is this one that is playing right now. So what we can see here, it's I did something. My idea was to just leave this space of the frequency spectrum for the bass synth and remove a little bit, or actually a lot. Let me do something like that. So I created a gap in the bass so that this can fit a little bit better. So if we go and remove this, this is a complete mess. Even for this one, let me take this one. So this is strong like this. I like the way the bass sounds. But if I keep this, by the way, let me see. Let me see which one should I remove. This one here, probably. No, not this one. It's this. And I keep it with the bass. It's too much. I feel it's not very clear in terms of every sound. They don't sound very clear to me in this way. But when I put this, I can still have the frequencies of the bass here and the top ones, and I focus the bass synth on this part here. I can probably do something like that, maybe, because high frequencies are not that hard to mix. But yeah, let me see. Yeah, I can even do this to give it a little bit more presence in these mid and high frequencies, like that. Let me check. Yeah, so let's go ahead and see this with let's see the frequency response of this bass. Let me put here. Okay, so let me take this out. As you can see, we have this information here that it's overlapping with this one here, and this is all over the place. But when I add this one, we get a more focused sound, a more narrow frequency response, but it makes and with this here, this gap that I created here, it allows these frequencies here to be much more present in the mix, and we can have the bass and the bass synth more let's say happy with each other, or they sound a little bit, in my here they sound a little bit better. Of course, mixing is very subjective, and yeah, I can do it one way, you can do it a different way. You might be screaming at me, that does not make any sense. It is what it is. So I'm just here trying to have something that I like, the way I like. I tested this mix on my car, on different cars actually, and I quite like it. So yeah, at the end of the day, if you like the way it sounds, it's what matters. Okay, so let's go here to the synth, and here maybe we can, I added a low pass here, but we can also mess here with some sounds or some frequencies. Okay, let's add a little bit here, or actually a lot, not just a little bit. I tend to be a little bit more aggressive when I'm in the mixing phase here, because I want to change sometimes I want to change the tone of the whole instrument, and when I'm using EQ on the master, I'm much more not so focused. I use more broad cues, so they get more big range of frequencies and just small amounts of gain. So here I could go up to 3, even you saw in previous, for instance in the snare, like minus 14 and plus 14. In the master I would not do that, but yeah. So let's go and maybe add here some top shelf. Okay, to make it a little bit more, I don't want to say aggressive, but more present in the mix. Okay, around this part I want to remove a little bit. Let me check. This is 1.1, this is 2.2. Okay, and let me see without the trash. This is 50%. Okay, sounds okay. And I can even add here a little bit of reverb. can even automate this. So one thing that I like to do with this type of sounds is go to the kick and here add a, where it's called controller, a pick controller. And you see every time I have a kick, it shows here in this graph here. And then what I can do is just simply automate this part here, so that let's go to link to controller, and we have a lot of parts here. So what I'm going to do, actually before I do this, I'm going to rename this and I will call this kick controller. Okay, and then if I go here, a link to controller, and I will have kick controller, which is much more easy to organize and easy to go get the thing. So I want the pick because I just want the points where the kick hits. So let's go with kick, and I want to invert this because every time the kick hits, I want to lower the wet signal, and when the kick does not hit, I want it to go up. So I want to go contrarian to the kick. So let's go here and let's put this inverted, and let me check. Yes. So now I can lower here the volume, not the volume. Where can I lower this the intensity of this one here? Probably I have to go here, and instead of having 1, I can have like 0.5. Okay, like this, and then we can mix up this one a little bit. Let me change here some values. We can maybe add a pre-delay. Okay, this adds a little bit of character, and I'm going to do this a lot in these sounds here. Not in the bass. In the bass I will keep them as dry as possible. Okay, so I like this. Let's go to synth 2. Okay. In this one, I might add a little bit here, and I'm going to do the same effect. Let's go with reverb, and let's do the same thing here. Link to controller, pick, and let's go inverted, and maybe 0.7 instead of and let's take this one, remove conflicts, so that this will remove the one from the synth and just have this one on synth 2. So I'm going to do this, and if we go here, we still have both. But if you remove if you removed the conflicts, they would both you would either have one or the other one. Okay, so now let's go here to this one, lower it a little bit. Okay, and this one we can apply a low cut and increase this. Okay. I like this. Okay, so now let's continue. Let's have this all together. Okay, let's see without. Yeah, I can't actually do that. So we also have here the go, which is I think I will not mess with it too much. Maybe I can add a little bit of reverb. Okay, just a touch. Here the vocal is a little bit more. We have to be a little bit more careful with the reverb in the vocal. Okay, maybe a little bit more, and let's save this. Okay, so now we have this first part mixed. So let me listen to this part here with just the synth 2. Actually, this should be okay. So what's going on here? So we have synth, and then we have synth 2. Okay, now just this is synth space 2, and this is synth and synth hashtag 2, which is belong to the same synth. Okay, so let's listen to this part or this transition here to see if this synth sounds nice. So I'm going to delete this because I'm not using it so far, and then we have to mix also these transitions. Okay, so one thing that I'm going to do also is to bring this here. Okay. Okay, I like this. So let's go ahead and move to the second part here. Okay, so let's start worrying about this transition. So what we have here, we have some strings, we have the close grain, and we have the pad. So let's take care about the pad here. Let's go with Fidelity EQ. And for the pad, let me check here. The pad goes all the way here to this part here. And yeah, I was thinking, I was maybe seeing, I was thinking if the pad will have some points with bass on top of them, because I wanted to increase the bass on this pad to make it a little bit more thick, a little bit more heavy, bass heavy. So let's go ahead and increase this around maybe around this 2K. Let's have bottom shelf, and let's increase like that. And we can even decrease a little bit of the bottom of the top. I want this to very thick, because we have the strings, we have the piano, and they will have they will be on the top part of the frequency. So let me check here in the middle. So we have until 2. Okay, I think this is okay like that. Okay, so now let's go to the strings. And what I was saying is that since now I increased the bass on this pad, I will have to check here in this part if I have to remove that bass to leave, or that boost to leave space for the bass. But we will check that. I will check that in this part here with the bass. Okay, strings. Let's see. I have some EQ. Actually, let me put the EQ before the reverb and the delay. Okay. And here for the EQ, I will have a high pass filter, because I just want the top frequencies of the strings. And then we have the piano. Let me add here some EQ. And let's do the same. Remove a little bit of the low frequency of the piano. And okay, I want to increase here. And also on the top of the frequencies of the piano. And what I can do here is pretty much the same as I did with the bass and the bass synth, which is to leave a little bit of space for the mid frequencies of the piano. So let's go ahead and let's go here to put them side by side. So we have the close grand and then we have the strings, and I added a little bit of frequencies here on the how can I say, on the close grand, the piano. So I added at 1.6. What I'm going to do is to go to 1.6 here and lower them a little bit. And I will have this here, but decrease a little bit. Okay. This is strange. This should be. Why this is not being applied to the strings? Actually, maybe it is. Okay, yeah. Let me put the EQ after, as it was. Okay. Yeah, I was not applying the low pass. Okay, yeah, it was not enabled. Sorry. Maybe not that much. Let me check. Maybe the pad here is too much. So let's listen. We should always take care of having this in context, because if it's not in context, you might be EQing stuff and it sounds nice, but then in context with the complete song, it might not sound nice. So yeah, now let's go to this ARP synth. Let's go to the mixer. So let's call this ARP synth. Okay, so now we have a lot of effects here. Let me see. Yeah, you can see them. So yeah, I don't think I will need to mess too much with this one. Okay, I like this. Let's check this part here with the bass to see how it sounds, if I have to put something else or if I have to lower the bass of the pad. Let me check here. Actually, I can even add here a low pass. Let me go here to this. Maybe add just a touch of low frequency, top shelf. Okay. And for the reverb, I'm going to do the same trick as I did here with the P controller. And let's invert this. Invert and 0.8. Okay. Okay, let's listen to this part again. We still have these lead synths here and the hi-hats. So let me check the hi-hats. We also... Where are the hi-hats? Yeah, probably I add them and I did not add them here to the mixer, so I have to do that. Let's go to this part here. Actually, let's skip this one here. And let's go to these hi-hats. And where are they? 9. Actually, they are here, which is strange. They should be... Okay, these are the ones. And the group here. But the other ones are not. I have everything, so I'm not seeing why I don't see them. Okay, let me check here. So we have these ones, which are on track 9. Okay, they are both all on the track 9 here. I had... This is strange, they should not be here on track 9. Yeah, probably I mixed them here with these knobs. I think I will leave them. No, I don't want to do that. I have to move them to a different location. Yeah, let me go. I have another one here. I had 4, which is on track 7, which is okay. So let me go to that one, which are these ones. Okay, yeah, these are on track 7. Okay, so now I have to find room for these ones here, 9 to these 3 here. So what I can do is just select them, go here to the mixer, select this channel for instance, and Control-Shift-L, and they will be here moved for 42, 43, and 44. And as you can see here, they were moved, and now what I can do is just simply click on Alt and move them as a block and bring them to the hi-hat group like that. Okay, so now I can have this called hi-hat 5, hi-hat 6, and hi-hat 7. And to move the tracks, you just hit Alt and then you move with the right and left arrow, and they will be moved all together. So now I can just simply select this part here and bring them to the groups, to the hi-hat group. So now if I go here, okay, and I can even change a little bit of the volume of these ones. So let me check without. As you can see, we have a lot of low frequencies, but when I put this, we have a little bit more control over the hi-hats. I like this rhythm. I can even expand a little bit more the panning to make them a little bit more aggressive. Okay, so now let's see with everything. It's always good to have control over all your sounds, and if your PC allows you, mine it's a potent machine. It's a new machine, so it must handle all these tracks. So if your CPU allows you, just use all the tracks that you can go. I think this is the most tracks that I use so far in a project. Maybe, yeah, and this does not have any vocals on it, just the chants. But yeah, so this is quite big project. Okay, let's save this. Okay. So let's see without. Much more. They are not so prevalent. Okay. And we could go even step forward. Would be to add a little bit of transient processing here. So let me go and do that, especially to the hi-hats and the snares. So what I'm going to do is go with, which one is it? Neutron Elements, because they have a nice transient processor. And let's go here, transient shaper, and let's add a little bit of attack. And maybe we can decrease just a touch. Okay, this makes it a little bit more, I don't want to say plucky, but it increased the attack and lowers a little bit of the transients or the sustain. Yeah. So I can also do that with the snare here. Let me actually do that. Neutron Elements. And let's do a transient processor. Okay. Let's go here. Let's check here this the synths here, because this is already mixed. Let me check then this. Actually, let me see what is this gross beat. Let me check here this drop. Bass synth. Oh, okay. Yeah, this one has the gross beat preset. Yeah, just to introduction to the drop synth, and this I think it worked quite nice. So what I want to do here again, add some reverb. Let's do the link to controller. Let's do the same thing here. Let's invert this and let's put this 0.5 and let's accept it. Let's increase here, apply a low cut. Actually, let me put this a little bit bigger, 0.8. Okay. Let's listen to the rest. Oh, by the way, I wanted to check here the synths. So let me put this here. Let's go check these synths here. So this should be this one here. I think so. Yeah, they should be. Here, let's see, we have some reverb, some EQ. Let me add a low pass. Okay, I think it sounds better like this. And let's go to the final drop. Again, most of my mixing was already done when I was producing, when I was making the track, and that's pretty much how it all goes. Okay, so now I think there is a lot of reverb here, and this one here. Yes, so quite a lot. And what I can do here, let me see if this will help. Increase here the volume so that this dip is bigger. I can even move the bass. Now let's keep it like that as it was. I think maybe 100. It's the normal value here. So I think it will be much more like that. Okay, so yeah, let me check this again. Yeah, maybe just half, or maybe a little bit more, 60%. Okay, so now we have pretty much everything. We probably have here another snare. We have Fidelity and the snare, so I think this is okay. We have this one here making much more intense. So let me add here some EQ to this part, which might need. I like this transition, sounds really nice. So one thing that I have to do is go step mode and do it a little bit different, like this, because the transition is not perfect. Or it's, as you can see here, I moved a little bit or 2 steps to the right, the track or the loop. Okay, so let's see, let's go check this EQ. Let's add a low pass. I don't need it. I don't need this synth to be the, how can I say? I don't need it to mess up with the bass. So let me just listen to it. Yes, we have a lot of low frequency here. Let me go with this one here to check. Let me see. Yeah, you can see we have a lot of low frequency there, and this way we can clean it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is actually bring up the bass and the synth and the kick. Okay, let me check here the Parametric EQ too, and let's compare both. So what I can do is probably leave this part here for the bass synth. So let's lower here a little bit, and let's increase this part here, which is the one that I want more emphasis. Okay, and I can even do a heavier low pass. Let's see without. Let's go here and let's take out the reverb, or keep the reverb. Okay. I don't want to be very obnoxious in this area, but I want to keep this area for the main bass synth. We want a smooth transition or smooth combination of both sounds. Okay, let's see with everything. Okay, let's go back to this part here. Okay, and this part here should already be mixed, so I should not have to check this part here, but let's listen anyways. Okay guys, I think this is it. Let me check here I have to check the effects, but that I will keep for the premium and exclusive section. And also I will start the mastering process there. And in the next video I will give you some tips on mastering, but the main ideas will be for the premium and exclusive members. But let me first listen to the track on its own, on this last part here, to see how it sounds. Okay guys, so this is it. Again, in the premium and exclusive section I will be working on the rest of the mix, and I will also start the mastering process, and I will give you some tips in the next video. And yeah, if you are new here to this channel, subscribe and activate the notification so that you know when I upload new videos. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Also, if you like to support this channel, and if you like our content here and would like to support me to bring you better content, consider buying one of my products at DailyBeatsVI or become a premium or exclusive member, and you will have access to exclusive tutorials about music production and also to the project files of these projects, and you can follow along at home and see the tutorial and work on the project in your own computer. So this is it guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will try to record the video for the next week, or meaning the mastering video. I'm not sure if I will be able to, but let's see. If not, I will only have another video like this in 2 weeks, which is when I arrive Portugal again. I will stay here in Portugal for this weekend, and I think this is it guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.